Welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists, an occasionally smart, always irreverent look at sports in St. Louis and beyond. And now, your St. Louis Sportists.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. My name is Ron Cook, and I am joined by Joe Sperlin.
Hey, good to be back. Glad to see you guys. See everybody.
Doug Lansdowne.
It's 150 degrees again today.
and it stopped raining in West Plains, apparently.
Not since July 7th.
Oh, that's amazing.
You're not a candle.
Not amazing. And that was the voice of Keith Farrell.
Cheers, everybody. Good to be here.
Tom Mathis is concluding an assignment. I guess you could say he's wrapping up a loose end.
Technically.
Technically, he is. In this edition, the Cardinals get back in the race and faceplant against the Rockies. Is the Nolan Arenado return just around the corner in Miami? Michael Porter shares some insight on why players bet on their own sport. And City plays their best game of the year. Who saw that coming?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Sort of.
Yeah. The St. Louis Sportists are brought to you by First Coast Steel Buildings, and we are coming to you from the Local House Bistro. Actually, we're here in the Thunderdome for the first time, which is the basement here. Keith and I have 4 screens up. We'll tell you if anything good happens. Last week, we told you that we were at 1,488 followers. We are now at 1,515. So thanks to all of you. And we don't say this often enough, but thank you for listening. Thank you for putting up with us. We're just 5 guys who like to talk sports, and for some reason you listen. So thank you very much. With that, let's get into our quick hits. Joe Sperlin, what do you have?
Well, I saw Kansas announced that they had a donor gave $300 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kansas.
So,
This is Kansas.
Kansas.
talking about Kansas. Now, that made me think of something else I heard today or this week. Brent Musburger, and I sent it to you guys, where he said if Barry Switzer would have had unlimited money during his time at OU, he would have won everything every year. And there is no doubt in my mind, I believe that.
I believe that too. Having seen him in action at the Downstream Casino,
Yes.
I believe that very much.
So as I make a comment, it's like we're getting back into the 1980s and early 90s of college football. But it's legal now.
Yeah, it is a little crazy. By the way, they've got the card out for someone in the Chicago-Toronto game. Like the cart. And Cubs look very concerned. So we could have a developing situation in the National Leagues. Okay, we don't, as they say, we don't want to speculate.
Don't speculate.
We don't want to speculate. Douglas, what do you have?
Speaking of baseball, even Paul Skeens can't stop the Milwaukee Brewers.
How are they doing this?
Unbelievable. That's a Cub.
It is a Cub because
Cub
they're
on the cart.
Yep. And he doesn't look very good.
Hey, the Brewers got free burgers for the entire city.
What?
By winning 12 games in a row.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
I can report that during our MLB section.
Yeah, no, I saw that they were getting the better of Mr. Skeens, and I was surprised. You know, the guy with the ERA under 2 here in mid-August, which pretty rare for a starter in this day and age. Mr. Farrell.
Well, my buzz is J.J. Weatherholt. The kid just destroyed Double-A this year, and he's destroying Triple-A already, displaying awesome power. And I'm like, September is knocking on the door. Hopefully you can get a cup of coffee up here. And then we hear Mozeliak totally shut that down. And, I heard the interview today, and the announcer asked the question, would you be willing to sell hope for next year? Would you be willing to sell the possibility of what's next to come? It might be good for season ticket sales or something like that. And Mo's like, no, I don't think it's good, but we'll think about it. So Weatherholt's going to be 23 in September, all right? So we've got Mason Wynn, who is currently 23, Victor Scott, 24, Walker, 23, McGreevy, 24. Well, who else played at 23? Newbar, Herrera. Oh, and a guy by the name of Albert Pujols at 21. So why are we keeping this guy down there? I don't know. That's the reason Mo needs to go. Throw the key away.
It was Don Coryell that he found out he was fired because they padlocked his office. You know, Bill Bidwell put a padlock on his office. But I did hear that they are more open to the possibility of having him start the team, because there's that thing that if he wins Rookie of the Year next year, they get a draft pick. So they will not do the June thing that we've talked about.
Got it.
We'll
take it.
Yeah, whatever we can get. So mine goes into the world of sports and business, so to speak. And Joe Sperlin, you were the Missouri Athletic Director of the Year at the high school level, I believe, if my notes are correct. It turns out that the University of Southern Florida is not going to have an athletic director anymore. They are going to have a CEO of athletics. And they put out a statement saying, why are we doing this? And one of the sentences that I thought was just, again, written by someone like me: we're looking for a leader who understands both the boardroom and the locker room, someone who can drive revenue, elevate our brand, attract top-tier talent, and embrace innovation. And the one thing I noticed there is they put boardroom before locker room. And they did also indicate that they thought this person could come from the world of business or finance, that they were looking for someone with a business or finance background.
What do you think their ticker symbol is going to be when they get publicly traded? USF?
Yeah. Bull. BULL.
Handle the salary cap. Salary cap and legal issues.
Yeah, but I just think of some of the athletic directors we've known since we've been watching, and it's a lot of times it's like the football coach who doesn't want to coach anymore and gets kicked up to the old athletic director position. But this is Moneyball comes to college football.
Just the beginning. I mean, let's think about, to expand on that.
Yeah.
If you look at dollars and cents, is college football bigger than the NFL?
A lot more teams.
A lot more teams, a lot more TV spreading around with all these different networks and stuff like that. I don't know.
Interesting. Well, so here today in St. Louis, Missouri, about 18 miles from us, the St. Louis Cardinals led the game 5-2, but then they managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, Doug. And for the first time since the trade deadline, the bullpen did not come through.
It did not, but it was due to have a hiccup. So I'm just glad McGreevy had another good outing. He was solid. So after watching Libby and Palante, I was glad to see somebody could actually make it through 3 innings besides Sonny Gray. So I can't figure out why those guys hit the wall this time of year.
Well, and I was listening to a little something on that, and they said that basically, so Liberatore threw 80 innings last year, kind of total. Year before he was at 132, but today in Katie Wu's article in The Athletic, they said that when he went out for either the 4th or 5th inning last night, he just had nothing on his cutter. And the story said basically he didn't need to turn around and look at the gun. He just knew that it was gone. And that was after he'd looked amazing for those first few innings. But I mean, Keith, have we reached the point that he's just an opener? He can't get through 5.
Well, he's going to be stretched out. He's got a good arm. I think he'll learn to. He's thrown a lot of pitches this year too. I mean, the guy labors through 5 when he gets through 5, and I think once he starts learning that efficiency tactic, first pitch strike, second pitch, soft contact, hopefully, whatever, the innings will come. And he's thrown just too many pitches early on, gets way behind in counts, and he's often in those 3-2 counts, and that just drives up his pitch counts.
It does, and it's good for the hitters. And so, Doug, 61-61. How do we keep ending up at this 500 mark now? They are 16 games behind the refused-to-lose Milwaukee Brewers. They were only 13 back last week, but now they're 16 back. And 4.5 out of the wild card after they whittled it down to 3. The Fangraph playoff percentage drops to 5.3 from 5.8. And all right, so Doug, Arenado is potentially, it sounds like, going to rejoin the team in Miami. Can you imagine making out a lineup if you throw yet another guy into the lineup there mix?
I can't. I don't know what they're going to do.
How much do you even play him anymore?
I know.
My question is, does anyone miss him?
I would say pitchers.
Yeah, the opposing team's pitchers.
Well, no, I mean, again, that's good. That's actually very good. But no, Nolan Gorman was fielding by sound at third base, as we established last week.
God.
And so, even a diminished Arenado's got to be a better fielder at third than Gorman.
Well, I'll say this much. I'm gonna defend Gorman this much right here, and that is, he's been at second base all year round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he's developed that little short arm throw over to first all year round.
Mm-hmm. Worked on his double play pivot. He's become actually not bad at the double play, I'll have to admit.
I mean, I haven't played baseball at a major league level by any stretch, college level or anything like that, but it's got to play in your head just a little bit. And I don't know how many reps it takes. I really don't, before it becomes muscle memory, but it's got to be days, and he just doesn't have that muscle memory yet. And that's where I'll defend him a little bit. But still, Jesus, you're still a Major League Baseball player. Get it close to the first baseman.
That one, I believe, did go into Jefferson County, Keith, a couple nights ago.
Put Jordan Walker at first base, where he's 6'5", athletic, and can stop the ball from going in the dugout or in the section 200.
It's funny that you mentioned Jordan Walker, because if you play Walker, that means Nootbaar has to play left, which means Herrera can't play left, which means he has to be the DH, which means there's no place for Gorman unless you put him at second, but then there's no place for Donovan. It's a headache.
And where do you put Burleson?
Oh, yeah, him too.
Hey, it's not like it's a headache for a team that's winning the division. It's a team that's 500, and you're sitting there worried about the lineup.
Well,
you don't play the guys that you don't see being here next year.
It's just shades of mediocrity is what it is. That's what was that a Bob Dylan album? I don't know. Our old friend Miles Michaelis has an ERA at home of under 3 and on the road over 6. I actually saw someone ran a survey. Would you be in favor of giving Miles Michaelis a contract for next year?
Yes. As long as his name is Roger Clemens, when he was only pitching at home, right? It wasn't that like his last year only pitching in Houston or something like that? God.
Yeah.
No, that was being facetious. No, Miles Michaelis, stay away from Missouri. Just go back down to Japan. Go back to Japan. I think you're safe over there. No chance of being in St. Louis.
He has a boat and a big house down at Jupiter, Florida.
That's enticing.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
For a bunch of those players that we just want. Yeah.
As long as there's storage for his hats. Very important. Joe Sperlin, MLB correspondent at large. What's going on around the league?
I sit there and think an Arenado guy could be that where he clears waivers there at the end of August, and a desperate team like the Yankees or the Mets pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Yankees and Mets are struggling. They're about to play themselves out of a wild card. The Brewers, what happened was there was a burger joint in Milwaukee that always said for years, if they had this winning streak, a guy would give free burgers. And I think they said in 85, they gave like 170,000 free burgers when they started the year off 13-0. And with that 12-0, they're going to have like 100,000 burgers free. So, hey, good PR there.
Yep. Heck yeah. No, going back to your waiver thing, I still go back to I believe it was 1989 when Joe McGrain was so bad, Doug, you just wanted to give him to someone. And I said, is that what you want the transaction to read? Not sent for future consider, just St. Louis Cardinals gave Joe McGrain to
Gave.
Twins or whatever.
Someone will panic, and they'll make them an offer.
So since the trade deadline, we were talking, Joe, you mentioned who's done well and who hasn't. There's a gentleman went back to Houston and things seem to have fallen into place for him a little bit.
Huh. That's all we'll say. Huh.
Trash can or no, Mr. Correa is hitting 364 with a 168 OPS, which means he's 68% better than all of the third basemen in the major leagues since he's gone back.
It's almost like they know which pitch is coming. That's all we'll say.
We're putting the band back together.
Yes.
What's Beltran up to these days?
Oh, classic.
I think my favorite thing was when they thought they might be onto him and Beltran took the bat and knocked the monitor out of the wall. There was video of that. The heat's on us. Bam. Monitor crashes to the ground. And then on the other side of that, the Cubs decided they were going to be cubbing, and Mr. Soroka goes up there. Keith makes one start, 2 innings.
IL, shoulder discomfort. Bye-bye. Boy, what a unfortunate move. You hate to see any player go down like that, but when it's the Cubs, you can kind of digest that pretty good.
The Cubs are just spiraling a bit. Now I say that they're ahead 4-1 here tonight, but man, they haven't. Yeah, Joe, you were talking about the Yankees collapsing. The Cubs have been. Pete Crow Armstrong is all of a sudden human again. He was hitting under 100 for the month of August, or under 200. Yep. I'm sorry. Go figure. I guess we'll have to put a hold on that Hall of Fame plaque.
You know what's funny is because we look at spurts in St. Louis. You listen to sports radio in St. Louis, and they're like, did you see Jordan Walker's 13-game span that he just had? Or when he plays on Wednesdays, he's batting 370. And it's like
his exit velocity. His exit velocity is 20 points higher than it was, 20 miles higher than it was in the first half.
When he drives Interstate 64 into the stadium,
that's when you're searching for positivity.
They're searching. But it's glad to see we're not the only ones that are searching.
No, I think we all are. And I think it's also time to search for some loose ends. Sticking with baseball for just a second, 9 teams at some point. That's, Joe, I'm going to do math again. That's close to a third of all major league teams.
That is very close.
Thank you. 9 teams in the major leagues have at one point this year had the best record in baseball. But here's the fun part. None of them have held it for more than 2 weeks. Does this blow up the argument for a salary cap? Are we kind of at parity here?
I will say baseball does not like to see that. New York does not like to see that because it does defeat the argument. I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad for the game.
I think I'm going to get the wrong guy here who probably said it, but thinking maybe been Tommy Lasorda said, you're going to go 50-50 no matter who you are, unless you're really terrible. And it's what those other 62 games is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, baseball also needs the ratings. So they don't want to, they like seeing the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Mets and all those teams winning. They don't want to see the small market people win.
No, a Milwaukee World Series would be a nightmare for the Fox Network.
Yeah, Toronto and Milwaukee, they would love that.
I mean, they'd go ahead and release the lowest rated World Series ever before the series started. Yeah, here's the news release. This is going to be the worst World Series ever.
Players Union reps are taking no
It's like the NBA, OKC and Indiana. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, nothing like the Heartland. And I don't know that there's actually, I mean, a lot of people are saying the Dodgers are going to get into the playoffs and turn it on, but how many times have we seen a team get in the playoffs and not turn it on?
Yep.
Loose end number 2, the MMA made a deal with Paramount and CBS, basically moving all of their content to Paramount Plus, and they will have free events, free showings on CBS. One expert said that this is as significant for Paramount as it was for the Fox network grabbing the NFL rights in '95. And there's also speculation that this could put an end, well, it will put an end to pay-per-view MMA, but it could kill pay-per-view for other things as well. I guess boxing's about all that does it now. So, Joe, you were talking about a streaming Super Bowl a few months ago.
Oh yeah, that's on the horizon. Those games, you're going to pay that premium. Hey, especially now that NFL and ESPN are together. Good Lord.
Yeah.
There's two money hungry people there getting together, and yeah.
All bad things are possible.
That's true. Doug, this past weekend, the Cardinals had a 3-game series against the Cubs, and all 3 games were on a different television provider. It's interesting when you go on social media and someone's like, why can't I find the Cardinal game? And, you get one of those pretty much every game now.
Yeah, I got tickled with Kerry the other night when he said, it's nice to be back at work ever having 2 days off and being at home. I thought that was pretty good.
Well, and I remember Jamie's reaction when I told her. She's like, she was staying with her mother for the weekend. She's like, where are the Cardinals? I'm like, they're on Roku. And she sends back in all caps, Roku, ? Exclamation point.
Yeah. Hey, Ron, this weekend I looked up what I think I said service, what channel, what network is going to carry college football. Because I'm like, do I need to get Paramount? Who's on Peacock?
Mm-hmm.
What else is things on? Is this TNT and HBO Max? Is that different? Isn't that the same thing? And I have no idea. So thank God I'm not an MMA guy, because I'm could do without getting Paramount. So
NBC is moving at least a couple. I want to say they're moving like USC Notre Dame to Peacock this year.
Peacock.
Oh, are you serious? Hey, get ready to bleep me. Those bastards.
What about the artists previously known as the Pac-12? Who's carrying them?
Oh, Pac-12. Where is Pac-12?
CW, maybe CW.
CW.
I think you're right. I think you're actually right. That's
I do.
St. Louis. Yeah.
CW. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have to get another TV in here. My gosh.
I know, but like Peacock, you got week 1. I'm sitting there like Michigan, the Big Ten football is going to be on there, and Peacock. Well, it's New Mexico at Michigan. I'm not watching that.
No. If you watch that, you're gambling, which we'll talk about here in a moment. And the third loose end, Doug, this was late breaking news, so we're just kind of shooting from the hip on this. Rory McIlroy has turned down a chance to be a Ryder Cup playing captain. You mentioned that surprised you a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything like that. Like I said, those guys all like Luke Donald, and he did a great job. And, they were all immediately after they won 2 years ago, they wanted him to come back and stuff and everything. So I don't know, probably just Rory having to get his ego stroked, which has happened a lot since he won the Masters. So
shocking. Yeah. Yeah. He's had to get a larger green jacket already in just these few months. When, because you know these things, what's our countdown to the Ryder Cup? When does that take place here?
That is it'd be the 4th weekend in September. So it's what is that? 26, 27, 28.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it being played at?
Bethpage Black.
Oh, I love that.
The long course.
It is only for experienced golfers, and I love that sign.
Yes.
And folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, just Google Bethpage Black sign at first hole. It is. It's humor. Actually, we'll post it on our socials.
Well, the best part for the people who don't know about Bethpage is it's a public course, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyone, well, not anybody. You got to go take a tea time, but how cool is that?
No tea times. You line up, Doug. This is what I've heard. Check my work, but I've heard you just get up at like 4 a.m. and drive out and get in line. Is that still the way they do it?
Yep. Yeah, that sign that is right up there with one of the better signs that I have seen. One of the best ones I saw in person is the golf course in Eminence, Missouri. But you got to know where Eminence is at. Giant sign. Course. It says absolutely no boots or trapping on the course.
Oh, that's
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I saw one on social this week that said it's 150 yards to the center of the green and 200 yards to a $500 window. Choose your club wisely.
Yep.
So we are going to, with that, say that we have tied up our loose ends, and we will remind you the St. Louis Sportists are brought to you by First Coast Steel Buildings. And again, coming to you from the Local House Bistro. We're going to hear from Jason in just a moment. But right now, we are going to let you know that if you are looking for a place to have your fantasy football draft, there is no better place out in West County than the Local House Bistro. They have a great menu, and you can call and get a table for your entire league. You will have tremendous food and drink, great service. Keith, I was talking to our buddy Tim out there. Could you imagine getting that game room for your fantasy draft? That would be fun. You could throw darts. You could go gamble. If you decide, through the first 6 rounds, my team is going to be terrible, you could just start playing the slots.
Yeah.
Say, put me on auto draft and go to the slots.
Put money in the machine and take money out.
Money comes out.
Michael.
Yeah, you could become very popular in your league by that. But anyway, call the Bistro if you'd like to get a time for your fantasy draft. It is where we are having our fantasy draft here, 11:30 on the Saturday of Labor Day week, opening day of, not opening day really, I guess, week one. Week one, did I say? Okay, Saturday. Keith knows. About the Bistro, the menu is tremendous. Great steaks, fish, appetizers, burgers. In fact, I got a pizza on Monday. They've got a pizza special on Monday nights. You can come in and get a large for the price of a small. Great group up there to take care of you. Yeah, it lasts a while, too. It's a big pie. You'll see Tim, Holly, Whitney, Darian, and Dylan at 16524 Manchester Road. Eat local, drink local, and love local. It's the Local House Bistro.
Are you in the market for a barn dominium, house, garage, man cave, carport, or hobby shop? Wondering how to get started or where to go? Whatever you are looking to design, look no further than First Coast Steel Buildings. Give Jason and his team a call at 912-314-4848. They will guide you through the process, designing your building to fit your specific needs and budget. Call them today at 912-314-4848 or get inspirational ideas and start designing your own by visiting them at firstcoaststeel.com. Again, that's the number 1, coaststeel.com. Their low-cost buildings are fully galvanized steel, providing you with worry-free, low-maintenance requirements, integrity, quality, and a family-first approach. First Coast Steel Buildings, 912-314-4848 or firstcoaststeel.com. Discounts for military and first responders.
And we are back at the Local House Bistro studio here in western St. Louis County. It's Joe Sperlin, Doug Lansdowne, Keith Farrell, and I am Ron Cook. And boy, the camps in college and training camp in the NFL are underway. Joe Sperlin, what are you hearing? What's the word on the street?
Oh, I love listening to college camps. Who's starting? The thing that amazed me is you see these guys getting their number one quarterbacks, and and guys that you're sitting there going, is he still in college? E.J. Warner. Is it E.J. Warner, Kurt's kid? His name at quarterback? Third school. Some other guy, I can't remember the school. 6th year, third school. And all these guys that they've transferred from place to place. So that's the college game. The pros, I love listening to them all talk about, are they getting enough reps? Who are they getting too much? Are they not enough? Too much exhibition games? The Browns quarterback deal is amazing. I thought Shedeur did a good job, and then he gets the oblique and could be done for a week.
It would hurt to throw a football with a problem with your oblique, I'd have to believe.
After last week's start, I just checked. He's still 4th on the depth chart.
Yeah. Well, that might be kind of convenient if they had to put him on the injured reserve list. They wouldn't. They could delay a roster decision. Yeah.
Sure.
So the one thing that I hadn't thought about, and since you guys know much more about the NFL than me, so I got really used to the old 4 preseason games. The first one was no one dresses out. The second one, you maybe play a half. The third one's your dress rehearsal. You play the starters into your third. And then the fourth one, you look at position battles and, the starters play a series. With 3, do you just lop off the first game? Is that how they're doing it?
I think I've seen some of them talk about that their starters are going to play the first half of these week 2.
Well, Joe Burrow played the whole first half?
And because of Cincinnati having they thought of going 1-2 or 1-3 the past couple of years, that they're going to have their guys ready to go. And I think it depends on the team and the coach and how the past year was and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Few variables there at play. Shedeur has his oblique injury, and Keith, you shared a stat with us in the break that I thought was just too good to pass. They said that there's really no separation necessarily between Beau Pribula and the other clown.
Cook.
Thank you. No.
Boom.
Horn.
Sam Horn.
Yeah.
Or the freshman. And then the freshman.
Brady Cook.
Bradley Carnell.
Bradley Carnell.
Bradley Carnell just the old St. Louis City. We've got Philadelphia and Red Bull New York here in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinal.
I was thinking Brady Cook getting carted off.
So did he get carted off? I thought he played. Oh, when? I thought he played well.
In practice?
Yeah,
really?
I saw that. I don't know when it was.
Bradley Carnell, by the way, looks like he could be a villain in a James Bond movie. Now, he might be one of those kind of henchmen that only makes it 2/3 of the way through. You know who I'm talking about? The guy that you think he's pretty bad, but no, he doesn't make it till the end. So yeah, your point on the Mizzou quarterback situation, Keith.
Yeah, so you got 2 guys battling for quarterback spots, and I decided to do a little dabbling, and next thing I know, they've got 29 attempts between the 2 passing attempts between the 2 quarterbacks in their college careers. That's I don't know how Mizzou's going to survive an SEC schedule like that. You need experience. I mean, you need experience at that position. So I don't know if 29 or 26 passing attempts is going to do it.
I say wishbone. Doug, do you remember the game? I want to say it was during the Woodenhofer era, where it was Iowa State comes in. It's 14 degrees. All of their quarterbacks are hurt, so they take a starting cornerback and basically put him at quarterback because he'd played in high school. He ran the option, and he was wearing gloves, and this was before they had the quarterback gloves, and they said that Missouri was still dropping their cornerbacks and safeties 10 and 15 yards off the line.
Yeah, he never attempted a pass, did he?
I think that sounds right. And
I couldn't remember what position he was, but yeah. And
Iowa State ended up winning that game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So Go
And
figure.
you did say that was during the Woodenhofer days, right?
I'm pretty sure it was either Woody or Stoll, which, those two kind of run together.
I think it was Woodenhofer.
Yeah.
I
Not
think
much difference between those two.
Not really, no. So Joe and Keith, a little bit of gambling news, actually 4 points of gambling news here. Know a little bit more about the Missouri situation.
They got the license awards. I think they've closed those up, and I can't remember, Keith, was there 3 of them or 4 of them awarded? I can't remember.
Looks like it's FanDuel, DraftKings, and Circus Sports.
Right, and they'll pick 2 of those.
What was it? The 3, besides a different word, wild card spots. I still don't understand why December 1 is the day, but
because of Denny, and I'm just going to stop there before my voice goes several octaves.
You're turning red, Rod.
No, that's his jacket. That son of a. Okay, hey, we got a goal from Red Bull New York here,
and
we almost had another bleep right there.
So we're just watching baseball. Ohtani pulls a routine double down the line.
Mm-hmm.
I look away, and it's a stand-up triple.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is lightning.
And then he just scored. Although he did hit into a triple play last night.
Yeah,
I saw that. Hey, the gambling part. Like I said, I don't understand why it's December 1, but I guess if they can do it earlier, they can do it. But that's the deadline. Other than that, and then But the gambling, Ron, as we had said, has kind of gotten into every sport of only certain players, though. Is all I'm going to say. I will try to keep my comments brief on that.
Well, let's, speaking of Mizzou, as we were a little bit ago, Michael Porter had something to say about his brother. And turns out, Keith, remember the last time we were talking about the Indian pitchers that are accused of some malfeasance here? You were saying, who were they giving this info to? Yeah.
And I think Michael Porter, he came out and said, in terms of his brother, gambling, and he had a public statement. He said, they come from nothing and all their homies have nothing. And they're like, bro, if I come out of this game after 3 minutes and y'all hit on my under, we're all getting a little bag of money, parentheses, of money.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I did a little bit of research about that. And then, Michael Porter, the All-Star, has I think a $38 or $47 million contract. I can't remember. Well, his little brother was on a 2-way contract with the Raptors, making $415,000. Now, it's still a lot of money, but I think it kind of resonated a little bit. $415,000 doesn't go a long way when you got to
keep up with that lifestyle,
and you got to keep up with that lifestyle. And but Porter went on to say, obviously, my brother went through his situation. Malik Beasley's going through his situation now. Terry Rozier was in some hot water, but the whole sports gambling entity, it's bad, and it's only going to get worse. And that's a scary thing. And I think it's what seems so innocent, and these guys have to know. I mean, it's so easy to track this stuff. And if the NBA and MLB and NFL are not educating these guys, like, listen, the FBI, they're going to track, a pitch thrown in the dirt on the first pitch of the game. And they're going to see how many people are winning, and they're going to follow that money. It's going to look kind of odd to see a $2,000 bet on first pitch of a game or whatever, when everyone else is betting $5 and $10 on a game.
Joe Sperlin, if they caught Bud Fox in 1987, they're gonna catch this.
They will.
And so go ahead.
And I don't think any of those players' talents are so good that a team's going to stick their neck out for them.
No.
I don't know how they can sit in the locker room next to someone when people question, were you really trying to win or take care of your homies, and cut them loose.
Yeah, and, we're talking about getting caught, Doug. Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer had an interesting few days here.
That's probably going to be the most entertaining thing about OU all season. They're going to start 4-1 or 5-0, and then they're going to come back to earth. And the SEC has done them no favors.
Mm-mm.
They love Texas, and I don't care about either one of them. But Texas gets all the limelight, everything like that, and OU they've not given them any favors, and their schedule is brutal this year.
Yeah, I've noticed that, to your exact point, for the second consecutive year, Oklahoma gets to close with LSU. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
that's a little something. And then Joe, you said we mentioned the Cleveland pitchers earlier. You said that there was an update on them.
I think that the Ohio Sports Commission now is involved in it, or something about the state of Ohio is involved in it now, investigating, and it's just there's got to be obviously more. There's actually evidence of it's going on, so they're getting other people involved outside of baseball.
It's going to be interesting to see how I can already see kind of the line chart of number of baseball players suspended for life for gambling. And I have a feeling that we're on the start of a ski slope here going up. Well, as we mentioned earlier, St. Louis City had a 3-1 upset of Nashville, and Nashville's the third best team in the Eastern Conference. And Keith, you said you saw this coming, right?
There's a lot of energy on that field, and I think city management is willing to put whatever on the field to be a little bit faster. It'll be a little bit more creative. And the addition of Falou Fall, that guy is a stud. I mean, I had the fortune of going to the game on Saturday and seeing his play right in front of me at left back. He's a true left footer, Kyle Hebert.
I knew that was coming. But Kyle can do your taxes, damn it.
He can do he's got free advertising.
Yeah.
But he's so creative and he's such a presence. He's got closing speed. You get behind him, you've got 2 strides and he's on your back. It was so exciting to see. Kessel didn't play. He's going to come back, and you got a nut in the center back position, and you got a freaking really good player on the left side, and you're going to shut down some. I mean, Nashville was like Ron said, they're a top 3 team. They were irrelevant. I mean, their only goal came on a penalty.
On a penalty kick very late in the game,
and it's the speed that was on this team. And I'm not going to make any predictions for 2026. They're going to be a lot better in 2026 with the addition. And I just hope
Critchley. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. Now, we've heard a rumor of the old Sporting Kansas coach coming over, which I agree would be a mistake. For the season right now, City is 5-14-6 for 21 points. The good news is when you're this bad, a win makes a lot of difference. So now we're only 3 behind Sporting Kansas, and we have a luxurious 5-point lead over last place, Los Angeles, the Galaxy. We're down to 1 week left in the secondary transfer window, and Klaus is still here.
Yeah, he scored a goal last week. It was a nice goal, and he was actually very effective. And I don't know if it's the players around him. And, of course, the players around you are going to make you better. But he's at a level where he's got to make other players around him better. And so maybe there is too much on his shoulders. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
You're in a very benevolent mood tonight here.
Won 5 games all year. And I don't know, you got to keep me away from Energizer Park.
Yeah, this is. We'll call this episode the one where Keith shows mercy.
I'm about to say. The Cardinals are getting to where Keith's kind of like, St. Louis City, same thing.
Yeah, he's just mussing their hair like they're, kind of a little butter or something.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of in the is what it is, because it's so disappointing to watch the Cardinals. It's so disappointing to watch City, and the Blues season cannot start soon enough.
No.
College football will be here soon.
It will be here very soon. So this week, this Saturday, St. Louis City plays the Chicago Fire, who find themselves in possession of the final wild card spot in the East. They're 10, 9, and 6. They are 5th in the league in shot attempts. They paid for a bunch of high-priced dudes who like to shoot the ball, and they don't care about playing defense. The one really interesting thing, and I only know this from Joe and Justin, who have seats behind us at the City game. This game, and I'm not kidding, is in an industrial park. So Chicago has 2 stadiums. They play some games at Soldier Field, and then they play some at whatever this place is. And they were going to a game up there, and they were driving around in an industrial park, and they're like, this GPS can't be right. And they were about to turn around, and lo and behold, there was the stadium. And I don't know if this was to kind of jab at them or what, but City on their social before we played them there 2 years ago did like this big overhead shot, and like half of it is the field and the other half is like a warehouse with like railroad tracks to the side where they're like loading trains. And they said it's like way out too. I forget.
It's not. Yeah, I remember watching that game a couple of years ago, and we had a home and away back, and what a terrible place.
It was friends and family in attendance, and I bet it will be again this week too. So with that, it is time for the last call, brought to you by the Local House Bistro. Joe Sperlin, what do you have?
You know, sometimes when it's the last call, sometimes a guy doesn't make it to the last call because he's already had too many cold beverages before that. And they say, hey, we were going to cut him off. So what I'm getting ready to say will probably get some groans, and someone will say, yeah, you need to be cut off if you're going to say that. But here this week, I just can't handle watching the Little League World Series.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't want to watch 11 and 12-year-olds play baseball on ESPN. I know there's nothing else going on, but ESPN, you're not going to carry Major League Baseball, but you're going to play Panama versus Australia? And I just can't. I would rather watch women's college bowling or the Bago game where good old country boys by Johnsonville Professional League throw the bags in there. I mean, I would rather watch that than watch the Little League World Series. So, hey, like I said, hey, and you damn Little League kids, get off my lawn too. Sorry about that, but I just can't do it.
That's possibly the greatest last call in the history of this show.
How do you back that up?
Well, and I mean, they got the things where when they're like, oh, favorite band, what? It's like, okay, what? Who cares?
Well, the best one was that guy like, my name is Henry, and I hit dingers.
I hit dingers.
You know, that's the best line that's ever come out of the college World Series.
But that's once every 10 years. Keith, it's once every 10 years you get something like that.
Hell, I was just watching they have softball Little League World Series.
Oh, my God. Okay. Joe Sperling, you know where I'm going with this?
Add it on there. Yeah.
It was 2.1 million viewers or something. It was the most watched Little League softball game. And yes, apparently there are other Little League softball games in the history of the sport. It drew just a monster number for the weekend.
I wonder what the Oklahoma College Softball World Series drew versus the Little League World Series.
Oh my!
ESPN should just watch NFL practices.
Well, they can now since they bought NFL Network.
Exactly,
They got that right.
And that's what's going to happen. They're going to quit watching that, and you're going to have, like I said, you Little League kids, get off my lawn too. So, hey.
I'm going to add another in my day. In my day, we were taught not to throw any breaking pitches until we hit high school or something. They're throwing sliders. They're throwing sinkers. They're throwing everything.
Yeah, you're not going to see a kid on a Little League World Series team reach the majors right now.
Hey, they're going to get Monofuscoed pretty quick.
What's that guy, Dr. Andrews down?
Oh, yeah.
More than likely go see Dr. Andrews and they're a college team.
There's a business card for Dr. James Andrews in their swag bag. Every single one of them.
You get a business card and a sling.
No, a refrigerator magnet. It's better. You want to know you can't lose it. If it's just a business card, you might lose it in the dust. So it's a refrigerator magnet.
A refrigerator magnet, yeah. a sling, and a plane, and a free Southwest Airlines ticket to Miami.
Yeah, ticket voucher. Mm-hmm. Douglas, I don't know how you're going to follow that, but
well, we don't often go down this road, but I don't know if you saw the NASCAR Xfinity race, but Connor Zilisch, he won for the 6th time this year. But when he got ready to get off his car, he hung his foot and fell and broke his collarbone. So, and then the lead story the next day was NASCAR won't curb celebrations.
Oh, was it okay? Carl Edwards, the dude that did the flip off of his car.
Yeah. This guy hung his foot in the mesh of the driver's side and face planted.
Didn't even really look athletic doing it either.
No, he didn't. No. So he's got a plate and screws, and he's not going to drive for a while.
Oh my! Well, okay.
How can I?
It's like Ricky Bobby, the invisible fire. It's on me.
That's the first Ricky Bobby reference in Sportists history. Keith, what do you have? Mine is going to be so lame compared to everyone's. Keith, what you got?
I want to go.
Well, you've got to. You're here.
Got to. Well, I was doing a little former Cardinal trade deadline tracker. See how the former Cardinals are doing. And let's just say Ryan Helsley is doing the exact same thing he was doing before he left St. Louis. The guy has been in 5 games, 4 innings, 3 earned runs, a loss, giving up dingers. Really miss you, don't miss you. That's it. That's all I've got. It's hell now in New York. You can keep him.
Well, they're still using the cool intro for him.
Hey, he's got that going for him.
Yeah. Oh, well, like I said, mine's so lame that I don't even know if I'm going to do it. Basically, they're putting advertising on the field at South Carolina. Dear Lord, that's so weak compared to everyone else. Yeah, they've said that. But I did bring this back up. Doug Lansdowne. Doug, I'm going to tie it into yours because a little bit earlier we were talking about ads on the SEC. And someone said they'd look like NASCAR. Well, they were talking to this dude about, okay, so you're doing first SEC school to have advertising on the field. And they're like, well, what about the name of the stadium? And he's like, the stadium will always be Williams-Brice. At which point I'm like, what you didn't say there is Delta Airlines Field at Williams-Brice Stadium or whatever. But he said that they are looking for revenue any place they can find it, and they will consider every possible outlet for new revenue.
Williams-Brice Stadium presented by Delta Airlines.
There you go.
That's it.
Well, if you want to be classy like the Rose Bowl, you go to the presented by.
Yeah.
So we would like to thank you for surviving this long on this episode of the St. Louis Sportist. If you're still listening, thank you. We'll send you. You remember when they had the Croix to Candlestick that if you survived an extra innings game at Candlestick Park, they gave you, it was like a little medal and it was a giant logo with icicles hanging on it. We'd like to ask you to please like, rate, and follow. Maybe don't rate after this one. Maybe just like us and follow us after this one.
The Department of Education and little kids don't come.
Yeah. We made a lot of enemies tonight. We're on X, Facebook, and Blue Sky, but again, take a cooling off period before you go on there and talk about our Little League takes. And our website is stlsportists.com. Joe Sperlin, thank you, sir.
Good to be back.
Doug Lansdowne.
Hey, my exact words when I got home and I turned it on ESPN and the Little League Series on, I went, "Oh God."
Keith, are their parents lined up outside the house now?
We're going to send a school bus over to Joe's house and just have them knock on his door one at a time.
Hey, kids, dogs, and old people.
Right. Mr. Farrell, thank you, sir.
Have a good weekend, guys.
And again, please join us next week for yet another episode of the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. And until then, take care.
And that wraps another episode of the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest episodes. You can find these guys on all major podcast platforms. And thanks for listening.